One of the biggest changes that made a huge difference in how I handle my money is planning my purchases in advance. I haven't really struggled exactly with being an impulse buyer, but one thing that has been an issue for me is I'd think about something I needed to buy, think about it, and then just go out and buy it. Wasn't budgeted for out of that paycheck, wasn't budgeted for out of that month. In all that time I was thinking about it, I never came up with a plan to actually make this purchase and justify it financially. I'll start with the wants list, mainly because these can all be pushed back as much as needed, because they're things that I want and not things that I actually need. So first up is YouTube related. I want a better computer that I can actually use for video editing, and I want a camera so that I don't have to be doing all of my YouTube stuff on my phone, because that's starting to get old. For one thing, I batch film my content and it just takes up way too much space on my phone, but also I would like to improve the quality. And while this is not terrible, I've certainly seen worse, it's really not quite the quality level that I'm looking for. I did some kind of minimal research a few months ago. I really don't have any particular cameras or computers in mind. As far as the camera is concerned, all I really care about is that it's not massive in size. I usually film at home, but I want to be able to comfortably take it on the go if I decide to do a vlog or something like that. And I also want to be able to hook up a mic directly to the camera. When I first started this channel, before my laptop went kaput, I was using an external mic. And there were several times where I just could not get the audio to sync with the video, despite my best efforts. And it just became a complete waste of my time. So I really don't want to go that route again. For the computer, I really just care about having plenty of storage so that I can have several videos on there at once waiting to be edited. And I need a computer that can handle quality editing software. That's one of the issues I have with my current computer. It's a little bit slow, that I can deal with, but it's mainly the storage space. It has next to no storage. I really did not buy it with the intention of actually doing much video editing on it. That was just not something that was in mind when I purchased it. But also, it has trouble with video editing software specifically. There have been a few I've tried to download. I can't even open them. And based on the messages that were popping up on the computer, it seems like the video editing software itself was too much storage-wise for the computer. So it's just very limited. Now, the computer, I don't mind prioritizing because that's something I will use consistently for all kinds of other things, not just video editing. But the camera and any mic I get to go along with it will be something I use specifically for YouTube. So a camera and a mic is something I kind of feel like needs to be put off for a little bit just because I need to meet some other financial goals first. I'm really hoping I can cash in on some great Black Friday deals this year, especially for the computer. The camera and mic can be put off a little bit longer if I need to, just kind of depends. If I'm not able to get the camera and mic during a Black Friday sale, I will probably try to get those things around April, and that's when I'll pretty much be changing my YouTube system. I feel pretty confident as long as I'm paying attention to deals that are out there and making a smart purchase, I'll be able to get the computer in November. The camera and mic, if I'm not able to find a good enough deal for it, I will probably get in either March or April. The next thing that I want is a sofa. So what I'm sitting on right now is like a really small pink linen love seat. I basically want to keep this area the same because this is where I film, but I want to move the TV to the other side of the room and then have basically a nice long sofa against the wall. Don't get me wrong, I feel pretty comfortable in my apartment as it is, but this is just something that I've always wanted, and I also kind of feel like it's something I'd prefer to have taken care of before I end up moving into a house someday. Because for a while, my thinking was, well, why not wait until I meet these other goals? Why not wait until I actually have my own house and then I can buy a sofa? And it might be 6, 7, maybe even 8 years before I can buy a house. So why the hell would I wait that long? But that being said, it's probably going to be a pretty hefty purchase. I'm not going to buy something used. Sofas and beds are things that I just feel like you shouldn't buy used. That's just my own personal thing. But I also want it to be something that is a pretty significant investment, something I really want to be a quality item. I feel like my approach to things that I bring into my house, whether it's furniture or otherwise, is I don't mind spending more money, even if it takes me longer to save up for that item. I care more about the quality. I really want a nice quality sofa. The sofa, I don't quite have a time frame for just yet. That being said, the sofa, I don't quite have a time frame for yet. I'm not going to rush it because I really want it to be a very thought through purchase. But I'm estimating it's probably going to be around the end of next summer before I'm able to pull off the sofa purchase. The next thing I want is a display case. So I have a playing cards collection, and I've always wanted it displayed in my living room. The display case is definitely something I consider to be a little bit less urgent, but my playing card collection is in like a few different boxes in a few different places. And for one thing, I want to display it because I put a lot of time and effort into building this collection, and I want that to be displayed in my home. But I also want my collection to be organized and mostly in one place. I'm not too picky about what the display case I get actually looks like, but I do care very much about quality. So those are pretty much the wants that I'm looking at right now. Last thing on my wants list is I want both vacations in 26 to be at least 4 days out of town doing things I really want to go do. The past several vacations have been staycations. Maybe I got out of town for a day or two, and that was pretty much it. So I definitely want to save up so that I can take vacations that are actually more all-out vacations that I'm really proud of and can enjoy. My next vacations I think will be in February and September, so I have a little bit of time to figure out what type of vacations I want to go on and what price points I need to save up for. Outside of those wants, most of the things that I need are actually pretty minor. So these are some of the upcoming purchases that I really need to think about and plan ahead for. Now, leading up to purchases that I plan ahead for, I will basically write down the time frame I'm hoping to get the item, and I will search online and make a list of items that I think would fit the bill for what I'm looking for. And then, of course, from there, it is a process of elimination leading up to making that final purchase. So if you are struggling with money and you are not planning your purchases, I would highly recommend changing that.